Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. It is an honor for me to be here. Congratulations, graduates, for achieving such an important milestone in your life. Congratulations, parents. This day represents a major achievement for you too. And compliments to the Aiken Technical College faculty and administration. Today marks the completion of another successful year. Graduates, you're about to embark on a very exciting career. You have a bright future. Why do I think you have a bright future? First, you will find a job in your field because the degree you will receive from Aiken Technical College today is in demand. There is a shortage of workers with your technical expertise. In May 2015, Forbes magazine wrote, quote, "For skilled and reliable mechanics, welders, engineers, electricians, plumbers, computer technicians, and nurses, jobs are plentiful. One can often find a job in 48 hours. Last month, the Wall Street Journal announced that the aging baby boomers will spur demand in some fields, especially healthcare. This is a wonderful time to start a career. How bright that future becomes is up to you. Second, I believe you will have a bright future because if a person like me, who started very poor, can be successful, so can you. To illustrate this point, I will describe where I started, how I got here, and where I am today. It has been a long and tough journey. I started extremely poor. I was born in Havana, Cuba. My father was a cab driver with a third-grade education. My mother was a maid. We had very little income. The only electrical appliance in my house was a small radio. There was no running hot water, no washing machine, or air conditioning. But poverty was not the worst part. Cuba is a communist country where the government controls everything. Imagine that today the government announces there is only one legal political party, the Communist Party. We now own your house. We now own your business. We're not buying it, we're just taking it. Everyone is an employee of the government. You have to buy everything from us. If we catch you selling anything, we will put you in prison. One family on each block was designated by the government to spy on its neighbors. They were called the Committee for the Defense of the Revolution. Growing up, daily patrols of machine gun-toting soldiers was a common occurrence. We lived in constant fear. In 1962, President Kennedy referred to Cuba as, quote, that imprisoned island. Growing up, freedom was a bad word. All media was controlled by the government. There was only one opinion, communist propaganda. If you criticized the government, you go to prison where you would be tortured. We were not allowed to travel freely outside the country. Telephone conversations and mail were censored. Almost everything was rationed. Every family received a quota book. The quota book specified what you could buy and when you could buy it. Meat once per month, but only for children and the elderly. Milk available only for children. By children, they meant younger than 8 years old. At times, there was no food to eat. We had to wait in line for hours to buy food. In one instance, my uncle sold a pint of his blood to get money to buy food in the black market so we could eat. In 1962, we applied to the government for an exit visa. From that moment until the day we left in 1968, we were treated like the enemy. The communists called people like us who applied to leave the country gusanos, which means maggots. My father was sent to a government labor camp 5 months before we received the exit visa. After waiting 6 years, an immigration officer showed up at our door to perform an exit inventory. The officer told my family that we were leaving the country in 3 days. He instructed us to pack only the clothes we were going to wear to America. He made a list of everything we had and told us to take our suitcases and step outside. 1 hour later, he taped the front door shut to indicate that the house was vacant and everything we had was now government property. At the age of 12, I finally arrived in the United States of America. I have been happily married 35 years, and I have 2 beautiful children. But the day I arrived in America, Thursday, September 12th, 1968, is still, 47 years later, the happiest day of my life. There is no amount of money I could ever donate or good deeds I could ever perform to pay for the privilege to be standing here on this sacred soil. When we arrived in America, we had no money. My father started a job as a laborer in a factory, earning $3.35 an hour. I started in the 8th grade, but could not speak English. I needed an interpreter to communicate with the teacher. I could not read the textbooks. The following year, I attended Eastside High School in Paterson, New Jersey. It was a very tough inner city environment. The movie Lean on Me was based on this school. The actor Morgan Freeman played the principal, where he uses a baseball bat to keep the drug dealers out. While in high school, I learned to speak English. I still have that Webster's dictionary that I used. It still means a lot to me. In my sophomore year, I was fortunate to have been selected to participate in the Upward Bound program. This program prepared poor inner-city students like me to attend college. As poor as we were in Paterson, New Jersey, we were free. It was like Disney World. We could eat as much as we wanted. We did not have to wait to buy anything from the store. We could say anything. We could go anywhere without fear. It was wonderful. After graduating from high school, I received financial aid to attend Rutgers University and later Stevens Institute of Technology. In 1980, I earned a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. Getting a college degree changed my life. This is where you are today. In 1981, I began my career in the nuclear industry. 13 years later, I started my company, RCS Corporation, here in Aiken, South Carolina. The first 3 years were very tough. My salary in the first year was $0. When revenues grew from $25,000 to $5 million, Entrepreneur magazine ranked my company the #1 fastest growing new small business in America. Today, the company has over 330 employees working in 35 states with annual revenues exceeding $37 million. If I can achieve this level of success, considering that I started very poor, lived under communism for 8 years, and could not speak a word of English in the 8th grade, then you too can have a successful career. Here are 5 lessons I have learned that will help you be successful. These lessons will be just as useful 100 years from today. Number 1, a huge part of your career is getting along with people. Always treat everyone with dignity and respect, no exceptions. Read Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Number 2, exceed expectations every day. Under-promise and over-deliver. There is no substitute for hard work. Be the best in your field. Number 3, when confronting ethical dilemmas, and those are inevitable, remember, if you don't want something published in the front page of the newspaper, don't do it. Number 4, failure is a wonderful teacher. Don't be discouraged. When you fail, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? And then improve continuously. And finally, number 5, be a winner. Attitude and character are everything. When I started working 35 years ago, I found a poem titled Winners versus Losers by an anonymous author. It has been a wonderful guide for me. I will now close with that poem. Winners versus losers. The winner is always part of the answer. The loser is always part of the problem. The winner has a program. The loser always has an excuse. The winner says, let me do it for you. The loser says, that's not my job. The winner sees an answer for every problem. The loser sees a problem in every answer. The winner sees a green near every sand trap. The loser sees 2 or 3 traps near every green. And finally, the winner says, it may be difficult, but it's possible. The loser says, it may be possible, but it's too difficult. Remember, graduates, you started here at Aiken Technical College. You can succeed anywhere.